What is going on, guys? It took forever for the thing to say live, but we're back. I got my hair did, got my eyebrows did. Actually got this waxed unknowingly. It actually just kind of happened. I was laying back, so I go to this place, right, Garrett? I already told Charlie this, I think, but I go to this place where I go in. I was getting my hair cut. I got paid like the day before. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go in. It was picture day yesterday at the school, and I had open house Monday night, so I was like, you know what, it's a good week to look good anyway. So it was like Sunday, I think, and I walked in. I was like, I need a haircut. She's doing great. I was like, okay, you know what, she's doing a good job. She was like, oh, do you want me to do the facial hair too? I was like, well, I did look like a caveman at the time, so I was like, yo, sure, why not? So she's like, okay, I'll give you like this packaged whatever thing. I was like, okay, cool. So I like laid back, and she like put like a hot towel like over my eyes and just started doing the beard and everything, making it look nice, like trimmed all this up, like all little tiny things. And then all of a sudden I'm laying back, I got my eyes closed, I'm ready to fall asleep. All of a sudden I feel this hot liquid start getting like pasted down the middle, right in between my eyebrows, and I'm like, oh crap, that's wax. And I was like, well, I've never had anything waxed before, but there's no turning back now because I can feel it caking onto my head.
There you go. Hey, that's
and, a couple minutes later, ripping it off. I was like, all right, but hey, looks good. So the lady at the front desk was macking on me after, said I looked good. So
ooh.
All right. So No Mercy happened. Charlie, what'd you think of No Mercy? Just overall thoughts.
The first thing, dude. My favorite thing from the whole night, first thing of the night, Miz getting a massive pop.
Well, man, first thing of the night was Apollo Crews Elias.
Yeah, not for me.
Don't skip over them.
I didn't actually see that match.
Honestly, looking down the card, my favorite thing all night was, and I just enjoyed that, Miz getting that pop and then beating Jason Jordan and the crowd destroying Jason Jordan. That all made me happy.
I got to ask, Garrett, that you saw the promo, the Jason Jordan promo after, right?
No, I didn't get to see the pre-show.
Okay, so no, not the pre-show. It was the first thing on the show. We don't need to worry.
The Jason Jordan promo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry. My brain's not working.
So anyway, basically, you know, Jason Jordan at the end, he was like, well, you know what, Miz, you know how this crowd, they chant, you suck at my dad, Kurt. Well, Miz, you really do suck.
Yeah,
Was it?
That was pretty cringy, man.
Was the promo intentionally so bad that this is leading to a heel turn? They knew that it was going to be this bad, or should we just not give WWE that much credit?
I mean, you can give them that much credit, and maybe you're right. But I mean, like at the same time, it seems too good to be true that this would be like that purposefully bad. I mean, that's the wrong way to get heat anyway. Making their promos suck. I mean, that's a bad way to get a wrestler over as a heel, because then they're just going to hate them for the wrong reasons. And so when they react, it's going to be like not reacting because they're a bad guy. I'd be reacting because they just don't like them. And that's. But
at the same time, who would you rather be right now? Jinder Mahal or Ty Dillon? Or I guess Ty Dillinger's getting some time. Jinder Mahal or friggin' Luke Harper? Who would you rather be?
Oh, I'm not saying that someone's not going to take that. I'm saying that from a storyline standpoint, that just doesn't make any. It doesn't make any sense to just go on the idea that this guy sucks so bad that that's the only reason why everyone hates him. I mean,
I just think that WWE thinks any heat is good heat. So we've seen
no doubt
a guy can just come out and spew racist crap for 3 weeks straight, and it's like, well, the fans are booing him, so he's doing something right. It's like, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
But so other big events that happened. I thought that the two main events. Okay,
great win. I'm as confused as
shut up. No one's asking you, Bleacher Report. So the John Cena Roman Reigns match at No Mercy. Was the match just average, or did we hype it up so much in our minds that it was going to be amazing that it underdelivered?
I think it was just average. I felt like it just wasn't as good as it could have been. It's definitely not their best matches.
Because we know how good of a caliber the match could be, right?
That's fair.
So it's like, no, we've seen both of these guys put together better work, basically. Now let's flip over and hit the mute button. Dude, nice. Hey, guys, sorry I've been gone for a while. School's been overwhelming. Hey, I feel you, Jace. Really feel you. It's overwhelming for me right now, too. It's a lot going on. And I'm on the other side of it. So, Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. I thought this was Bray Wyatt's best pay-per-view match in a while. I mean, Garrett, did you watch it? Do you remember it at all?
Which match?
Bray Wyatt, Finn Balor.
I thought this match. What was it? Is this the one what Charlie was saying was average?
No, we were talking about that was John Cena and Roman Reigns.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Okay, yeah. I thought this match was actually a good match. I mean, these guys are putting on good matches every time. It's just there's like we all know this. There's no good result to any of these matches because it doesn't really help either guy either way. I mean, do we really think this is going to build a bunch of steam for Finn? I mean, really?
Who thought that a man versus man stipulation was going to get over with the crowd?
Hey, man, the biggest thing here was a cosmetic change of Finn going from black to gray. So,
dude, hold on. Speaking of man, you know what? I'm not even gonna. I won't put you on blast, Charlie. I was gonna ask you about the other night, but it's okay. I was gonna ask you about it, but maybe this is something you want to discuss. I'll be a friend.
We'll save that for another day.
All right. We'll talk about it on a later podcast. If you listen to Vince Russo's podcast, Jeff Lane, the guy that hosts the podcast and then throws it to Vince. Vince always asks Jeff about his dating life and about this girl that he's been seeing. So every week, that's all. So how's it going, Jeff? You get rid of that thing yet?
Yeah, good stuff.
Good. So then the other big thing, I mean, Brock ended up beating Braun. They botched the finish somehow. I don't know if they were trying to make sure it ended right at the time or what. It was kind of weird with one F5 beating him. Made Braun look a little weak. I think we can all agree about that. That match, again, just kind of average. But the big match that everyone was talking about, other than the women's match, which I thought was meh, a lot of people thought was great. Differing opinions. But Cesaro busted up his teeth pretty good. And Seth and Dean ended up retaining their tag team championships against Cesaro and Sheamus. It was a clean win, but everyone that was there at the venue said that Cesaro got a standing O after they went to commercial, rightfully deserved, right?
Yeah. Guy did take an ass kick.
Like when you're trying to sell so bad that you actually bust your teeth.
Yeah, exactly. You standing ovation is well deserved for him there.
I mean, that's why people like Japanese style, right, Garrett? Because it's supposed to be strong style, and a lot of times they're actually kicking and punching each other. They just do it a little lighter, but still, I mean, it's like you're trying to sell and be so convincing that sometimes the best convincing is to actually do it. And Cesaro actually, he was leaking, was he not?
He straight up did it. Fact.
Oh yeah, he had blood all over his mouth. It was bad. I mean, you could tell the guy was gonna have to have like surgery of some kind. I mean, it was just. I think that there's 3 to 4 millimeters up into his gums. Ugh.
Jeez.
Can't even imagine what that feels like. That has to be the worst pain ever.
And what sucks is that he didn't knock his teeth out. And anyone that's had dental work done will tell you it's more expensive to fix like chipped teeth and half broken teeth than it is for you to just knock the whole tooth out. He would have been better off just knocking the entire thing, ripping it out of his gums. But he had like a bunch of jagged, messed up. I mean, hey, Halloween's around the corner. Maybe he'll wait and go as a jack-o'-lantern.
Jeez.
But Raw Women's title match, Alexa Bliss retains, which I think your boy here predicted. Let me go look at our predictions so I can shut you guys down. But overall thoughts of that match, Garrett? What did you think of the women's?
I mean, I thought they tried really hard. I thought that like 5 people in a match just usually gets pretty jumbled up into just a bunch of spots in a row of people's finishers or signatures. And, it's like kind of like tag team matches that are more than 6-man. Like if it gets to an 8 or even like, I think if we've seen 12-man tag matches in the last couple of years. I mean, when it gets to that ridiculous level of like so many moves need to be hit so often. Otherwise someone's going to look weaker than the rest, which did happen to Emma in this match, in my opinion. I don't think she did very much of anything in this match.
But she didn't.
You know.
She wasn't a liability. I thought Emma stood toe to toe with the rest of them.
Not saying that. I'm just saying, and it felt like Nia was kind of out of place in this match. It wasn't really. She didn't. I don't think she really fit the pace of this. Although she did take a really nasty bump.
That she did. Here's my thing. If 20 minutes before this, you're going to show Asuka's headlining TLC, what was the point of that? Why not announce that right after? I thought that, personally to me, I thought that made it obvious. What's her face is retaining. Because why would they change the title?
Agreed.
That just went through my mind. Right then and there, it's like, Alexa's taking it.
I don't know if you moved. I don't know if you moved your mic or something, Charlie, but it's loud and muffled.
Oh shit! Yeah. Well, it's that headphone mic, so it's kind of. I don't know. It's
okay.
You just gotta figure out the distance. It took me forever too.
After his teeth were injured, looked like a fatality from Mortal Kombat. Talking about the Cesaro when Seth gave him the kick.
Finish him.
I can agree with that. That absolutely reminded me of that.
Like the X-ray moves, yeah.
Exactly. But overall grades. Oh, also Enzo Amore won by kicking Neville in the nuts. But we'll talk about it more. We'll talk about that more.
Before we do that, I want to just show something really quick. So I did a poll in this group that me and Charlie are in on Facebook for wrestling of the coolest build going into Sunday. And by far, with 20 votes, it was Brock versus Braun. But coming in at second with 11 was Roman versus Cena. And for some reason, nobody voted for anything else except Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt got 1 vote. Not sure how that happened over everything else on the card, but it did.
Dude, man versus man.
It shows that people only cared about those 2 matches.
And those are the 2 matches that under-delivered the most.
And maybe that's what kind of set the mood for after this pay-per-view.
And let's be honest, our reactions, the ending of the shows matters the most. Like, if the ending segment of a show, whether it be pay-per-view, Raw, SmackDown, determines, that's like 50% of our opinion of the show, whether we want to admit it or not.
Yeah.
And for a lot of us, we were like, really? 1 F5? And Strowman lost? After he killed Lesnar on the last pay-per-view? 1
F5? You know what he can say now? I'm not finished with you.
And here's another thing, man. We're not going to see Lesnar till the Royal Rumble, so that means we're not seeing that title till the Royal Rumble. That just bugs me, man. I'm sorry.
What is Braun going to do?
He's on a live event tomorrow night.
Maybe he'll drop it to Braun.
At a live event in, like, Omaha or something.
Why is Brock Lesnar... Well, okay, first of all, why is he working a live event?
I just think he probably had one more date left, and they were like, well, we don't want to put you on Raw and then leave. Be weird. But, yeah. So, No Mercy, overall grades. I'll start, and honestly, going back, thinking with a clear head now that we're many days past it, I think Apollo versus Elias on the kickoff show was a solid match. Bleacher Report gave it a D, but you know what? I'll give them the D. Miz versus Jordan. I don't like Jason Jordan, so I don't know. That match is Balor versus Wyatt was good. Tag match was good. Divas match was eh. Cena Reigns eh. Neville Enzo bad. I'll give it a C minus. Garrett?
I'm going to give it a D+.
Charlie?
I'm with you with the C minus. Not the best, but it could have been worse.
Yeah, exactly. It was, if C is average, then I think that's, I think.
I only say that because
I'm excited.
Because I agree with John Cena. You can't. They did this like sort of formal passing of the torch at this show, and like he said it himself on the Edge and Christian podcast, and then on Raw Talk after the show. You can't be handed the torch. You have to take it. John Cena was never
straight up say it's a passing of the torch.
Nope, you can't say that either. And here's the thing. Yeah, he did. He straight up said it. He's like, "This is that." Even though I'm saying you can't do that. Basically, he contradicted himself.
Bella came out yesterday and said that John Cena passed the torch. So they're all thinking of it.
I don't know. I don't like him saying that. It's kind of
it takes away from the mentality because When did The Undertaker pass the torch to John Cena? When did Ric Flair pass the torch to The Undertaker? When did he? Now you could say that happened with Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels, but then then maybe Michaels passes it to Taker when he retires him. But there was never a Cena versus Taker match. John Cena became the guy because he was the guy, you know?
Ric Flair passed the torch to The Miz. We all saw him give the figure 4 to The Miz. So
That is true. He did do that.
Miz has yet to pass the torch. So,
On you, Miz.
So I'll preface Raw with saying that I had open house Monday night. I was at the school till about 9:30. So I missed everything up until like 10 o'clock, a little past. And for some reason, I kept thinking it was Tuesday. So I got home and I was like, dude, I missed all of SmackDown. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it was a Raw pay-per-view. So since I had watched wrestling the night before, it felt like a Tuesday because it was like the second night in a row of wrestling. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's possible. And, you know, it was an open house or whatever.
My mind is going nuts. Yeah, man. Yeah. Open houses are nuts.
Yeah, I remember those. I remember them just being just balls to the wall, let alone for a teacher. It's gotta be interesting.
So this was set up on No Mercy. The Miz had a backstage segment with Kurt Angle and said, "Hey, Kurt, I have a great idea for Raw tomorrow night. I want Miz TV, and I want to have it with Roman Reigns." And Kurt's like, "Well, I think you're a dick, but that's a good idea. That's a good idea. You're kicking off the show." And so they said, "All right, we're kicking off the show
with Roman Drains."
Ramen drains
or strains.
Roman.
Yeah. So what do you think about Roman Drano, Garrett?
Oh man, I think Ramen Reino is the best. And you know, honestly, we don't even really need to use his real name because until, you know, they realize they haven't actually passed the torch to this guy, it's not really worth it. I mean, this is just them trying to this is more segments of them trying to reaffirm this, oh yeah, this is the guy now. But we've already said this. You can't do that. You just can't say he's the guy and he's the guy.
Doesn't it?
You know, the only guy who they could do that with right now is, and I'm going to tell you this, and this is the truth, McIntyre. They could say he's the guy and he'd be the guy. But no one else. I can't think of
it. See, that's the thing. Have you seen the Photoshopped picture? It's the picture of Cena holding up Roman's hand at the end, but then it's Photoshopped with Daniel Bryan like patting Roman Reigns on the stomach.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then it's got like the Undertaker on one knee bowing to him, and then like Shawn Michaels like cheering for him in the background. It's like, how much does the WWE have to do? Just have every legend.
The Rock was in the game too, I think.
That would
be
such
a good other side.
Yeah, that would be such a good way to go heel, though, is if you have Roman Reigns come out every week and a different legend comes out and says how great they are, how great he is. Guys, seriously, I'm telling you, Roman's really good. Boo!
Yeah, that was just it was a good segment, though. It was a good opener. Miz TV is always usually solid.
So this built towards this built towards the main event, right? Miz Tara, or what was it? Was it just Miz versus
yeah, Miz versus Roman Reigns, which I think is going to be the feud, right?
The feud's
going to be the main event.
It's going to be Shield versus Miz Taraj, which I don't know if I'm buying, but that's what they're building towards. So.
Something I did see from Meltzer was this might just invoke the Shield being together. That's not necessarily the match.
Okay.
So this might bring the Shield together, and they might not necessarily face the Miz Taraj.
I mean, could the Miz pick another tag team to go with him, and who could he pair with him?
I mean, they still might face the club. What's Balor doing? Who knows? Like, what's the club doing?
Ooh, what about a triple threat between the club?
Yeah, but there's no way they're turning Finn heel.
No way.
No, it's turning the other guy's face.
Which they have kind of been actually hinting at a little bit on TV, a little bit.
It'd be weird, but I think it'd be better than the Miz Taraj.
There's no way. There's no way you spent all this time getting Rollins and Ambrose over as huge faces, and you've been pushing Roman as a face for the entire time. And there's no way if the Shield reunites that people wouldn't pop for it.
Yeah, it'd probably be face versus face.
No, that's dumb. I would hate that personally, but whatever.
Yeah, I'd much rather see Mr. Raj.
They're gonna have to do stuff without having a champion for 3 months, so at the same time, you gotta
let's be
remember
real. You're talking about 4 guys that could put on a pretty good match when you're talking about the Mr. Raj versus Cesaro versus versus Rollins and Ambrose, you know.
Dude, it's 4 months. It's not even 3 months. Holy hell. That's going to be, dude, I don't know what they're going to do.
With no main event title for 4 months.
Okay, we complained about it before, though. Well, not we. I didn't complain about it. Think about how special it feels, though, when that title is defended. Even though the match under-delivered last night, do you realize how special that title feels every time it's defended? It felt big. When Brock was walking down, when his music hit and Strowman was standing in the ring, that match felt huge. It felt like a huge main event. If Brock was on Raw every single night, it wouldn't feel as special. Braun right now, with or without the title, is still seen as the most dominant force in the WWE. And since Brock is gone, Braun can continue to look strong because Brock's not there. Brock is seen as his kryptonite right now.
Fair enough.
Right. I will only disagree with one thing out of that, and that's that Brock being on TV every week doesn't help him. He was on TV pretty much every week for like the last 6 weeks or so, pimping this feud, you know. I mean, and it worked.
Real.
Well, I mean, they're always going to be. I mean, it's not like Paul Heyman's like got like this button he presses and all of a sudden magic comes out. He has to work with the crowd, and not always does the crowd work with him, you know. So, I mean,
I think just people wait for it isn't a bad thing. I hate society today where they see something and they want it instantly and that's it. Look what happened with Jason Jordan. People wanted American Alpha so bad, and then they wanted Jason Jordan singles run. WWE gave it to him, and it's not good. So, whatever. All right. So, speaking of Jason Jordan, we had Jason Jordan teaming up with Matt Hardy because Jeff Hardy is going to be out. Last I heard, they were talking, 3 months?
I never saw the number.
Shoulder thing.
Yeah,
he just had to have surgery. He's going to be out for an extended period of time. So Jason Jordan teamed up with Matt Hardy versus The Miz Taraj. Miz got the win off a distraction, right? And it's kind of it.
Are we talking about Miz and – wait.
Sorry, not Miz. Sorry, Matt Hardy and Jason Jordan.
Gotcha. All right.
Miz got the beat down after. Sorry. The match
Hardy and Jordan won.
Yeah, the Jordan and Hardy won, and then there was a big beatdown after. I was like, Miz ended up on top, but he wasn't in the match.
So Hardy tore a rotator cuff and also sustained a torn labrum. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Freak injury. Weird. So it's not good. I don't know.
Ooh.
Is Matt Hardy going to be able to survive without Jeff Hardy over the next couple months, Garrett?
They're probably just not going to do anything with him unless he's just a tag partner for somebody else in a feud on a random show. Like you might tag with Roman at some point. You might tag with somebody. I don't know. But I don't think.
How many Matt Hardy Goldust matches do we get on main event, Charlie?
Hopefully 0, but there's a good chance it's 10 plus. Okay, his injury, Eric Rowan and Shelton Benjamin just had it, and they were out 7 months each. So that put us at May of no.
And they're going to recover a lot faster. Jeff Hardy's not as spry as he used to be.
Yeah, the one thing I just said from some senior doctor with WWE said potentially May 2018. That's a long way away, man.
Yeah. Bucks fan said if Brock is never around, they should make Alexa Bliss the face of Raw. I agree. Do you know who the new face of Raw is going to be? It's going to be Asuka.
Yeah.
Asuka's
maybe that's why they're going with this.
By the time Brock comes back and defends that.
Is TLC the next Raw pay-per-view?
Yep. October 22nd.
So
she's probably going to face – so she'll face Alexa as a face then?
A lot of people think she's just going to get like – she's going to come out and kill someone. She's going to come out and kill a Fox. Alicia Fox.
I mean, I just think that
Alicia
Fox.
I think she should come out and beat up one of the guys.
That'd be great.
Kurt Hawkins?
Yep, Kurt Hawkins.
All right.
That would be awesome. Kurt Hawkins comes out. She's going to answer his challenge and then lose to Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah, the Kurt Hawkins is a history machine now. Yeah.
All right. Ambrose versus Strowman. I didn't see this, but I saw Twitter blowing up about how good this match was. Was it really that good, Garrett?
I thought so. I thought I thought there's very few people that can work a really convincing match with Strowman because very few people can convincingly beat Strowman ever. I didn't think Dean was ever going to win this match. I knew what was going to happen, but I mean, I was sitting there like, well, is he going to win this? It might, and then match rolls on and eventually he gets beat. But I mean, it just makes Strowman look like when you show cracks in a monster, sometimes it's a bad thing because someone will be like, oh, well, I guess he's just not that convincing. But if you show that, sometimes it can show that while these top guys aren't always going to win, most of the time they're not, they could still put up a fight, and it makes them look stronger too. So
exactly, and backstage, Rollins kind of gave Ambrose the whole "the hell are you doing going and facing Braun Strowman when we're a team." I thought that's a good dynamic, right, Charlie?
I think it plays into it nice. Does it set up Rollins and what's his face next week? Is that a thing?
Yep. It must be.
There you go.
Yeah, it is.
It works. I don't mind.
Yeah, it was funny because Rollins was like, I can't believe you did that. Oh, by the way, I have a match with Strowman next week.
Yeah, exactly. How dare you do that? By the way, I'm gonna go do that.
Well, it was the theme is Rollins is super predictable, whereas Ambrose is obviously that's his gimmick. He's wacky Dean Ambrose. He's like, I'm gonna do something unpredictable. I just talked to Kurt Angle and now I got a match with Braun Strowman. It's like he's like, well, I didn't see that coming.
That's the hope, right? They could really play that off well if Ambrose slowly starts to get Rollins into that crazy they become that crazy fun team and Rollins becomes super unpredictable, super high flying again, like he was in the Shield. And then right when they're hot, that's when Ambrose turns around and does what Rollins did and sells out and becomes the company man.
Ambrose goes back to using the old version of the Dirty Deeds.
Why aren't WWE hiring me on as a writer, bro? Me and Vince need to be chilling by the pool.
Dude, do you remember the old version of Dirty Deeds where he would do the front flip thing where it
was ugly?
Yeah. Just bring that back for heel Dean.
That's what I think heels should have. There should be a heel that just has a really I'm sure there are some, but
Elias.
They have heat is for a terrible finisher. They're really good in the ring, but then their finisher just sucks.
Yeah, I thought the drift away looks like it actually hurts.
It's what is it, Brady? A neck breaker?
Yeah, it's pretty much just a neck breaker.
But it does a into the mat. I don't know. It's different.
I think Strowman is the knockout punch.
No.
Oh.
Okay. You're telling me that wouldn't hurt in real life, bro? Would you get punched by Strowman, Charlie?
No.
But I also wouldn't want to get picked up and slammed by him either, which looks a hell of a lot cooler.
Yeah, well, sure. I'd love for Strowman to start doing a 450 splash too, but it ain't happening.
Oh, dude. I bet you he'll hit a top rope move at some point, though.
Dude, what's that one move that is it Ricochet that hits the 630 senton?
Yeah.
Strowman pulls one of those out.
If he could hit a frog splash without killing somebody, I'd be impressed.
What if Strowman busted out like a shooting star press through a table?
Oh, yeah. That way he can land on his neck like Brock Lesnar did.
Oh.
I mean, dude, Brock's not even as big as him. He's almost as tall, but he couldn't get all the way around. But Brock had done that move before. We're talking about a big guy.
Lesnar.
Exactly.
I'm not saying he wouldn't make himself able to. Just,
So Seth Rollins faced Sheamus. I think it was obvious that Cesaro had a well-deserved break.
So this right after Dean Ambrose is where I passed out. So I'm going to be playing this with you, Brady, I believe.
Yeah, Charlie, why you been going to bed so early, bro? You don't even have to be up in the mornings.
It's a good. I've been getting in this habit. You'll actually like this. I've been getting in this habit of waking up, showering, and then getting my schoolwork done for that next day.
Good for you. Proud of you.
I knew you'd like that, especially on Mondays and Wednesdays. I've been getting in that habit.
I literally wrote a paper at 3 in the morning last night that I turned in today.
There you go.
Yeah, but did you stay up until 3 a.m.?
Yeah.
Or did you wake up and get it done at 3 a.m.?
I stayed up.
Yeah, see, that doesn't count. That's what Charlie's schedule is. Charlie was like, you know what, bro? I don't work till 4. I'm gonna go to bed at like 8 in the morning.
And it did have a headache.
Wake up at 2:30, shower, hog down some food, and go to work.
I've been using Tuesdays and Thursdays as those days to just really, pound out the assignments.
Fair enough. I've been pounding something else out.
Hey.
I should be making all these jokes. We've been demonetized the past 2 weeks.
Have we really? Wow.
It's my inappropriate humor, I think, or the cussing. I blame Charlie.
Yeah.
Charlie's the
No
body.
way. It's I don't know what it is.
Charlie, you're not advertiser friendly, okay?
When I send out the things to fix it, they always fix it. So I don't know what it is. You know what I
Maybe
mean?
they're just like maybe they watch it and they're like, well, this isn't that
Click
bad.
send report, or we can talk about it later. But yeah, it fixes it. So I don't even know.
No, all right. So, who won, Garrett, Rollins, or Sheamus?
I want to say Rollins.
That makes sense, right?
I think the loser here is the viewer because you said this a month ago. This would be the schedule. So next week we'll get Dean and Cesaro, or well maybe Dean and Sheamus.
Yeah, because Cesaro might still be out.
No, we're gonna get Dean and Cesaro, and Rollins is gonna face Strowman beforehand, and get Too Hurt to accompany Ambrose down to the ring, and Ambrose is gonna lose from some BS fashion, some distraction from Sheamus, and then Ambrose is gonna get pissed off at Rollins for not being at ringside, starting the dissension between the two.
Us.
What?
That it's like Nostradamus is with us. Good stuff.
Leading
Rub
to the
your lucky cat thumb.
2 months.
Rub your lucky cat thumb with your jaw.
Exactly. This is my symbol.
What? All right.
Roman Reigns faced The Miz. Roman Reigns won, right? And then The Miz beat him down.
And I saw they did the Shield thing, and they have a title match next week.
Yep. That's about it.
So this upcoming Monday is be definitely worth talking about more. But this one, no.
Finn Balor had cut a promo earlier on Braun, or not on Braun, on Bray. Same person. Basically, he was saying like, Bray, you know, I finally conquered you, and after all the people you victimized, basically he was talking all about the victim noises that Bray Wyatt makes people make. And Jay says, what other B pay-per-view match do you think Brock Lesnar is going to have? We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's get through this, and then I'll touch on it though. So basically, Goldust took offense to that. Met up with Finn backstage and was like, hey, I don't appreciate you, like, you know, portraying me to be this weak guy. Like, I can handle my own. Finn's like, hey, didn't mean no disrespect. Goldust popped him in the mouth, threw him against the wall, and then they ended up having a match after commercial. Is this the match that you never knew you wanted, but you got, Garrett?
I don't know. I don't know where this came from. I guess one of them must have wanted it, right? I mean, I don't know why else this would happen.
I mean, did you see what Goldust was wearing? He was asking for it.
Maybe he just wants a feud with Finn. He wants to put him over. Put the kid over. He's got to be out within a year, man.
Hold on, man. Hold on.
Within a year.
Finn Balor has new gear.
Whoa.
Do you know what color that gear is?
No.
Silver. We have Goldust and the Silver Surfer. Dude.
I think you might be stretching a
Tag
little
team.
far here, man.
New tag team, Finn Balor and Goldust.
Yeah. No.
All right, so let's get back to Jason's
I have
question.
a question. Are we going to do a review for Starrcade when that happens?
If it's good.
I don't know, you guys want to review Starrcade 76?
We could.
Do it before. Dude, that could be actually fun.
We
know,
should go back and watch some old pay-per-views. Why haven't we started doing that?
I know you, Charlie. You would be asleep in 10 minutes if you were watching Starrcade from the 80s.
No, it'd have to be the most recent one. I think it's Starrcade 92.
even then, bro, you'd watch this. I guarantee, Charlie would be sitting back in his chair. And he'd be like, dude, this sucks.
Oh god,
Like that tag match we watched.
dude.
And everyone was talking about, so Garrett, everyone was talking about like the best tag match that they've ever seen. And Charlie and I thought that it was talking about this one tag match that we went and watched. And it turns out that it wasn't even that year's match that people were talking about. They're talking about the next year. So we watched some match from the year before. And it was like in a cage, and it was Ole Anderson. And I don't know, man. It was weird. It was a weird time. But what B pay-per-view match do you think Lesnar is going to have? So what pay-per-view you say he's back, Charlie?
It's looking like Royal Rumble right now, from what I saw. They do have Survivor Series coming up, so maybe that one.
Well, the plan, from what every report says right now, is still to have Roman facing Brock at WrestleMania. So Roman's going to end up winning the Rumble. Brock's going to have to defend his title at the Rumble. Do you think we just see Braun run through everyone and run it back at Royal Rumble, Braun and Brock?
It's possible.
God, Garrett, who would you put against him?
For the Royal Rumble, I mean, I guess one thing everyone would want to see is if Braun could actually beat him. But I mean, I guess you could put him against Balor, maybe.
Balor and Miz, man. I would love to see Miz get a chance.
He needs to drop that other belt first, though.
I don't even think he does. He could.
Yeah, that's true. Just put him in the match. Just let him be in there.
It's because it is the Royal Rumble, you know.
So Bucks fan says Rumble, Fastlane, WrestleMania, then he leaves. I can see that.
Do you know what would be a great way to get heat for Roman? Have him come out at 30 in the Royal Rumble again, beat one person, throw him over the top rope, and just walk back to the back.
And be the biggest face ever. Let's say like Matt Hardy has brought back the broken gimmick and is the most over person in the company, and Roman comes out at 30 to thunderous boos and just chucks him out and wins.
Jeez.
What if he does what Rock did in that one? I think it was Rock. One of the Royal Rumbles, someone like sat at the commentator's desk for like the entire Rumble and then came back in and threw a guy out and won.
Which is genius, by the way.
Oh, it was absolutely genius.
Not as genius as Kofi Kingston's Royal Rumble antics.
Kofi's something.
I don't know. He's like a different kind of athlete. I don't even know.
And now we have Shelton back, so we can see both of them do something crazy. Because those were the two guys. Shelton used to do that kind of stuff, and then it was Kofi, and now we have both of them in the WWE.
Be good. If he's not in the next Money in the Bank match, I don't know what.
It's going to be on Raw.
Oh, dude. That's terrible.
Yep. All right. So we had tag match Nia and Emma versus Sasha and Bayley. All this was supposed to do was to tease some dissension between Sasha and Bayley because we know we're going to get that match eventually.
Yep.
That's it. Moving on. This was surprising. The Cruiserweights, for the first time, to my knowledge, got the main event slot, and Enzo and Neville went in on each other. I thought they played off each other great. I think Enzo is great. Numbers have been up for 205 Live because Enzo is money. And Enzo came out, spit a bunch of truth. And then Neville, and then all the other cruiserweights came out, and Enzo was just bashing all of them. And then Neville comes out, so we end up getting a double turn of sorts. So people, it's been this way for a while. People like to cheer for Enzo when he comes out, but then they're like, oh, well, actually, he's kind of a dick. And then he has to cheat to win. So people don't really like Enzo. This is the first time Enzo is just full-blown heel. And Neville comes out, and Neville is now known as the saviors of the Cruiserweight division. And what I love that the WWE did, Enzo had a no-contact clause, and Neville broke it in order to attack Enzo. Neville looks like a hero, doesn't need to have his rematch now, so they don't have to have a stupid rematch where Neville loses again. And now Neville is seemingly going to go into this coaching role, trying to coach up all these cruiserweights to try to beat Enzo. I think it's going to be a great dynamic. What do you think, Charlie?
It sounds fun. It sounds like something 205 Live needed, and I'm 100% up for it.
Garrett?
So, man, I just don't like that belt on Enzo. It doesn't make any sense. Other than for
And
this,
I personally, I continue actually. My bad.
I just feel like I don't know how we got here. Like, Enzo gets one shot at the title and it's just over. I mean, cheating is one thing, but like, kind of like with Jinder will undermine everything he does from now on if he just cheats for everything.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but that's his angle. You know what I mean? Like,
It's a bad angle.
it's not the best, but no one thinks that Enzo is good. Like, so think about it this way. In Vince McMahon's mind, he says the first thing he decides is Enzo needs the title because Enzo's over. What can be his angle so that he's seen as a credible champion? The answer would be nothing because he's not that good in the ring. There's nothing that he can do in the ring that would make people say that he's better than Enzo in like a shoot fight or whatever. Okay?
Yeah.
The only way logically that Enzo would win in a real fight against Enzo or in a real fight against Neville is to cheat, right?
Right.
I think so.
I mean, and just to add to this a little bit more, I put up a poll asking if anybody in the cruiserweight division is on the Neville level. I didn't get everybody on the list. I was just going off the top of my head. But with 36 votes, I had the option of never. He's the king of the cruiserweights. Everybody took that. The next ones down are Alexander and Metalik at 5 each, and then below that's Enzo at 3, and below that everyone's 3 or 2 or 1. You know, I mean, just going off of Neville, Alexander, and Metalik, I mean, that's enough for you to do. And then maybe if you throw Mustafa Ali, that's your next 4 months of feuds. And you can do a single feud with each, and they'll both each have a fantastic match, and it's better than what we're getting.
And they keep doing the backstage things where Neville's trying to coach him up on how to beat him. But it's funny because Neville was so dominant over all the rest of the cruiserweights that seemingly Neville would be the only one that could beat Enzo in the ring. And so Neville is the only one that can coach these guys up. But you can keep doing the whole thing where like Neville's trying his best, but the guys just can't get it done because Enzo always finds a way around it.
That's true. It makes for an interesting dynamic.
I think it'll be cool. So overall thoughts on Raw. I only was able to watch Raw for an hour, but the things that I heard people talking about, which obviously we condensed it a little bit, it sounded solid to me. I'm down with Miz Reigns. You know,
It's your main event for the next like 6 months, so
yeah.
ready.
Also, we apparently ran back Apollo Crews versus Elias, and Elias won again, so we're not getting a feud out of them. And Strowman tore some stuff up. He destroyed Kurt Hawkins, which is long overdue. So I'll give Raw a solid B. It would probably be higher if I watched the whole show, but yeah. Garrett?
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and give it a B+. I thought it was okay. I just I'm still unsure about the cruiserweights.
Okay. Charlie?
I'm with Brady again here with a B. I didn't catch the whole thing, but have gone over it, and solid show.
But together, you and I saw the whole show, so.
Yeah, exactly.
We put our brains together, we saw the whole show, right? Well, not really. We kind of missed the second hour. But, yeah. So moving over to SmackDown, Kevin Owens came out, decided to cut a promo talking about how, you know, he said he was sorry, blah, 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 and gets interrupted by Sami Zayn. This is the best Sami Zayn we've seen in a while, and he's your boy, Garrett, so I'll let you break this down.
I love this kid's ability to cut a promo. That's so underrated, man. I mean, that's one, like, there's few guys that are like the whole package. Like, I would say on SmackDown Live, guys that are the whole package would be like Bobby Roode, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens, and AJ Styles. Because AJ Styles' promo skills have improved. And maybe Baron Corbin, but he still could do a little bit better on the promos, I think. But, yeah, those are your, like, 4 guys right there that you can just say, put in any feud against anybody, and it's going to be good promo-wise. That's what Sami Zayn's doing right now. You know, I mean, I want to see him get pushed more, but again, they're waiting. They obviously, I assume they got something planned for the kid if they're making him wait this long and just having him be on the side of a lot of things, you know?
Right.
So, yeah.
I mean, they're playing the whole he's getting beaten down, and
it's working, by the way, too. He's getting over with the crowd.
I think they're doing a great job of keeping the feud of him and Owens up. Like, they come back to it just enough so that people don't forget about it, but not so much that it gets stale. I think they're doing a great job of that. Don't you think so, Charlie?
Yeah, that's a good point. I agree with that.
So this sets up the main event for the end of SmackDown. Chase is listening back. He says, "Neville Worldwide." I'm so down with it. But this sets up the main event for the night. We're getting Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, which leads to a backstage segment later on with Sami going to Daniel Bryan and saying, "Look, I know you said Shane's going to be here later on, but no matter what happens, do not let Shane come out there. I don't want him interfering in the match. He's going to have his night at Hell in a Cell. Let me have mine tonight." And Daniel Bryan was like, I'm cool with that.
True.
So I like that. Shows some guts. Kid's got some guts. So
now we just need some big meat.
Baron Corbin versus Ty Dillinger happened, and Corbin won. Right?
Solid match.
Did Corbin win?
Belongs, man.
Someone won via count out. Was that the Corbin match?
Yes.
Yeah, Corbin won. Ty belongs, man. That could be a nice little triple threat. Styles versus Dillinger versus Corbin. I'm down.
Oh, 100% agree. How far away is Survivor Series, by the way?
November 19th.
Okay. Remind me. I don't know if you guys saw it on Twitter, but I have the perfect concept for a Survivor Series match. That'd be amazing. But remind me at the end. We'll talk about it. But anyway, yeah, I'm definitely down with Corbin, Dillinger, Styles. It's a good triple threat. I like it. Do we have to add anything? I like it. I'm looking forward to the match.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, Jinder Mahal comes back out. Third week in a row, starts cutting the same promo, puts up the picture of Shinsuke, starts making fun of his face. I thought it was hilarious.
It's just
They're trying to do the Family Guy thing where, like, Family Guy does a great job of they'll have a joke and then there will be, like, a long pause. So, like, the joke isn't really that funny. And then they have, like, a long pause, and you think it's funny right away and you laugh a little bit. And then there's a long pause. You're like, what are they doing? And then they wait a little longer, and you're like, okay, this is really stupid now. But then they wait just a little longer to where you're like, all right, this is getting ridiculous. What is going on? And then they end the joke. So it's like they're trying to beat it into the ground so hard that it somehow becomes funny.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the actual funniness of it or if it's just the just absurdity of how far they're going just to try and get you to laugh.
Well, and Jinder Mahal started off his promo saying, all right, guys, I went a little too far last week. It's funny that line, you know, that came like straight from Vince. It had to have. Guys, I know I went a little too far last week because Vince knows that people were just tweeting at him nonstop. Come on, you went too far. He's like, oh, I'll tell you. I'm going to say sorry for going too far, and then we're going to do it again, dicks. And then it flashes over to one of the pictures, and it's not just a standstill picture. It's Shinsuke. The guy can't speak English, and they still make him keep his mouth guard in while cutting a promo, Charlie. Isn't that a problem?
it's kind of goofy. I kind of like it. I don't know. Mixed feelings. It definitely adds to his little goofy side, his charismatic side, you know? I think.
Is it a problem that Shinsuke Nakamura can't say WWE title, Garrett?
Yeah, I mean,
WWE. Is it bad that he can't say WWE?
I mean, I'm sure.
How does he say it? Did I miss something?
He always says WW Championship.
Oh.
Every time.
True.
And that's something that Vince Russo says on his shows every week, too. He's like, why can't they just – someone needs to tell him it's not the WW Championship. and he says it every time.
I'm sure Vince doesn't like it, but I mean, what are you gonna do if they don't tell the guy? What are they gonna do? You know.
Jay says, speaking of Family Guy, they're taking seasons 9 to 14 off of Netflix. What?
Yeah, Netflix is cleaning house, man.
God. And did you hear that they're thinking about upping the network if you want the pay-per-views?
So what?
Like, in order to buy the pay-per-views, you're gonna have to buy $30. You're gonna have to pay $30 in order to get the pay-per-views.
That'd be ridiculous.
It's just a rumor right now, but think about it, man. They used to charge 50 or 60. They used to charge 60 for the regular pay-per-views and 70 for SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Rumble, and Survivor Series.
They do that, those pay-per-views aren't even going to get 1 million views.
You know, and that's the thing. If you start forcing the people that are already subscribed to your network to pay for these things that they're getting already, people are just going to be like, well, I'm just going to watch, because like then, well, what happens then? Does that mean you have to pay $30 to get the VOD after the fact?
The things my mom texts me in the middle of the podcast, I think the moon landing was fake. I said, LOL, why? She said, how come in 50 years we never went back? And I'm saying, because there's nothing there.
What the heck?
It's a big rock in space. What do we need to go look at?
There's a reflection panel on the moon that they shoot a laser at, and it would not come back with the signal that it does if it didn't have something on the moon. So we would have had to have gone there to put it there, theoretically. Or, aliens just left it there for us, because they're nice guys.
Aliens. Dude, I need Bo Dallas on a podcast. Garrett, if I kick you off for Bo Dallas, are you going to be that upset?
No, dude, you got to have me on that show because I'm the guy on this podcast that likes conspiracy theories.
Here's going to be the thing. Here's what we're going to do. If I ever get a cool guy to come on and be the new third, I'm going to have a contest between both of you. Whoever can, you're both going to give me 5 questions that you want to ask whoever the guest is, and whoever comes up with the best 5 questions gets to be on the podcast.
There you go.
You can have a comp.
Okay.
So Nakamura came out and hit the Kinshasa on Jinder. It's cool. Usos versus the Hype Bros happened. Hype Bros have more miscommunication. They're sick of losing. Moving on.
Move along.
Oh,
Move along.
We didn't even know that yesterday was Rusev Day.
Rusev!
How did we not know? I had no idea that Rusev Day was yesterday, man. That is awesome. It was Rusev Day. Aiden English, I rated him on the Fightful podcast. It was announced on the Fightful podcast that I rated Aiden English is singing a 7.46 or 7.64. I think 4.6 out of 10. He just manufactured some vibrato, but that was beautiful singing. Also, that was, you know what? I can't confirm this, but I highly doubt that was the Bulgarian national anthem.
Yeah, unless he just practiced Bulgarian for like the last week. I mean, it could happen. I mean, maybe he's a really smart guy. I don't know.
What if he comes out and sings Shinsuke's national anthem next week, and it's like a bunch of racist stuff, and he's with Jinder?
What if they have people start doing national anthems and they start kneeing?
Oh.
What if WWE goes there?
I don't think Vince McMahon would allow that.
Who knows?
It would happen once, and the guy would get fired immediately.
I wonder if they'll start taking that. Hey man, it'd be a way to get views, right? They got LeVar Ball.
Oh gosh, could you see Vince asking all the black superstars to take a knee?
Oh my God!
You could see it, right?
No,
you could see him doing it.
No, I actually said that in the comment section of another podcast that I was watching on YouTube last night. I said, notice Rusev stayed standing for his national anthem, a true patriot.
Oh my God! All right. So
Rusev number 1.
He can't really disrespect the military because I think Rusev is the Bulgarian military.
Basically, yeah.
Who was the guy that they found?
I don't know. Apparently, he was the mayor of
Bulgarian.
Bulgaria.
You don't just find a random 50-year-old dude that speaks Bulgarian, right?
Hey, man, you never know. Rusev might know a guy.
He sent out like an email to all of the people he knows professionally saying, if anyone knows Bulgarian, let me know.
No. Rusev knew a guy.
My line.
Rusev knew a guy. They snapped him. You guys think Vince McMahon uses Snapchat?
I'm sure he does.
No.
Or as Bill Belichick calls it, snap face?
No.
Bill Belichick had that interview. He goes, I don't use snap face or Instapic.
I use a bathroom. I'll be right back.
Bill Belichick's old,
Bill Belichick's awesome.
but he's old.
Charlotte versus
He's got to be retiring at some point, right?
What?
When do you think he's going to retire? Obviously, him and Brady are going at the same time, but
I think they got 2 more years in them. I think they got this year, next year, and maybe the next. But if they win the Super Bowl this year, you could see Brady leave. But
yeah, I think he'd be done at that point because it'd be an unequivocal question. He's like GOAT,
6 rings, more rings than you can fit on your hand.
He's got as many rings as the Steelers across multiple good teams as himself. That would just be.
That's why people hate the Patriots. Their dynasty, in most people's eyes, started in 2001 and hasn't ended. It's been 16 years of a dynasty. Most dynasties last like 8 or 9 years. People are just like, screw you. You're not supposed to be this good for this long. And I get it. And once Brady retires and Belichick retires, probably right alongside with him, they probably won't be very good. But it's okay. Matt Patricia's taken over. I
trust Matt Patricia and what's the kid's name? He played last year. Everyone loved him. Garoppolo.
Yeah.
I could see that being a good combination, but we don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if Josh McDaniels stays. But anyway, Charlotte versus Carmella happened. This was Charlotte coming back. This was to set up Charlotte versus Natty, right? Because we got the number 1 contender match last week, and this was because Carmella has the Money in the Bank, so she's still kind of seen as like the number 2 on SmackDown.
Right. Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Okay.
Carmella can also lose and not be hurt. So we knew who was winning this match. It was honestly pretty good. Not the longest match, but Charlotte gets the win over Carmella. And
back.
Yeah. Charlie, did you have anything special about Charlotte versus Carmella?
Very short match.
Garrett?
No, it was just storyline stuff. Women sometimes get shoved to the back burner.
So Undertaker's music hits.
Was anyone fooled?
And we all instantly know that Dolph Ziggler is coming out. What was interesting was 100% Undertaker's actual gear.
Yeah.
Number 1, why doesn't Undertaker have that gear? Number 2, whose job has it been to lug this gear around since Mania?
Some poor bastards.
There's people that are saying the Undertaker's still in the back anyway.
Yeah, but why would he have his gear? Is he just waiting? Is he just
because they don't probably know if he's actually done yet?
Undertaker's sitting there every Tuesday night in Gorilla with his gear on, waiting for his number to be called.
I mean, I think like that until they have a card of WrestleMania without Undertaker's name on it, it's not guaranteed that he's not coming back. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And even then, he could just show up and they're like, "Oh, look, a bonus match."
Undertaker needs to just be someone to just show up and choke slam someone at Mania and leave.
Yeah.
Not a match. Just come in and do a spot and leave.
I feel like they could totally do that and it would be fine. Because, if any guy deserves to come back while on a Legends contract and just do stuff every now and then, it's that guy.
Oh, agreed. Although you don't want him to stick around too long. Ric Flair really looked...
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
Like a diminished version of himself.
His TNA run was just, why?
Yeah, exactly. People are like, why would you do that to yourself, man?
He had a great end, too. He got a kind of ending to a career that nobody gets in the WWE.
I know. That was the best, man. The I'm sorry, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
Kicked in the face.
Mm-hmm. And then, not 2 years later, Michaels was retiring himself. You know what I mean?
Yep. So, main event of the night, Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Pretty good match, but then Kevin Owens snaps. He got DQ'd, right?
No, I think the match got called off because of a fake injury or something. Yeah. Because he power bombs him and then lands pretty hard in the back.
Anyway, basically the whole angle is that Kevin Owens beat the ever living crap out of
I love the side of Kevin Owens.
Sammy. Oh, me too. It's great. And
It's like
this allows Sammy to get off TV. I don't think we're seeing Sammy for a while.
no, but when they bring him back, it's going to be for something. Probably maybe AJ. Oh, that'd be great.
What if he comes back at? Whether they do you think they wait till the Rumble?
Ooh, that'd be. I mean, it'd be a big pop.
It would be a long wait, but well, yeah. I mean, I think that many months.
Which pop would be bigger?
Oh my God,
Punk,
massive.
CM Punk music with Dolph Ziggler, or with the
That's
Sammy
the
at the
only
Rumble.
thing that could top that Taker entrance if Ziggler comes out to Punk's music. It would be too
It'd be
good.
great.
But yeah, this is good. Bucks fan says, I wanted Ziggler to come out to Sandman's entrance with beer and all.
Oh my God!
Smashing his head with the can. We were just showing, Charlie and I were just showing
Kendo
Rick
stick.
a couple days ago. Rick was too busy on Tinder, but Charlie and I watched it.
With the white wrapping on the hands in the kendo stick. Yeah,
Good
BBCW
stuff.
references.
So let's talk about it, Charlie. What do you think? How long do you think they're keeping Zayn off TV?
2 weeks.
Okay. So
I'd say like a month or two probably.
Well,
They'll let whatever play out now.
The show after Hell in a Cell.
Oh,
Okay.
I forgot to say, Bobby Roode came out for Ziggler. I'm already sick of Bobby Roode. I wanted to retire. I don't know.
Really?
Not my cup of tea. Just never was. You can't say that I was ever a big Bobby Roode fan.
That's true. When we were doing all the NXT shows, you were like, I like the other guy in the match more.
I don't think I have. I mean, I picked Bobby Roode for matches, but not because I wanted to. I don't know. It's just this happens with, and it feels like Ziggler always faces the guy. Like, and let's be real, this should have been Bobby Roode's debut. That would have meant more, but whatever. So I don't know. Basically, Shane comes out to try to make the save, and basically Owens throws Sammy into him and bolts out through the crowd, and that's the end. So
How did they do that thing where they put the chair around their neck like that, and then like I get maybe like throwing him like they did, like he kind of stops him and he like just falls or whatever. But how do you go like when Jericho did the one into the post? How do you safely do any of that? It doesn't seem very easy.
No idea.
they're better at it than we are. That's why they say don't try it at home.
Exactly.
Fact.
Unless you're playing the video game, in which case.
So
play
let's talk grades real quick. Charlie, what would you give SmackDown?
Solid B minus.
Okay. Garrett?
Well, grades. Oh, I got a C on my math midterm. Oh no, wait. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this show. I'm just gonna not give a grade this week because I just felt weird about this episode of SmackDown. It was
Giving it an incomplete.
yeah, doing that.
You're waiting for them to turn in part 2 of the homework.
Exactly. We'll see after next week. I'll give a grade for both combined.
I thought SmackDown was okay. I mean, for the most part now, I've been like listening to SmackDown mostly and doing other stuff because I have so much work to do. The one thing that I did like stand up and go to the front of the TV for was what's it called? When Bray had the little kid singing. Oh, also Bray and Finn.
Must have been.
Or sorry, on Raw. So never mind. I should have given Raw a higher grade. I don't know. I'll give it a B. That was okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It was eh.
Wasn't bad. Wasn't great.
So let's talk about a couple things first. So first of all, since we were just talking about SmackDown, let's talk about Survivor Series. I think the best thing that could possibly happen, you guys might have seen the tweet, I'm not sure. I said, what if we did a US versus UK and got the UK guys involved? Did a US versus UK 5-on-5 match, Styles is the captain of one team, and Pete Dunne as a captain of the other.
Be pretty big.
Who would you put on those teams?
Okay.
Dunn.
Yeah,
Neville.
Let me just.
Mustache Mountain. So those two guys.
So
Trent
Bate,
Seven and
Trent
Tyler
Seven.
Bate.
And then what, Jack Gallagher? Or I guess
Oh
that
yeah,
has to be
Gallagher's a
it.
heel now, isn't he?
Yeah.
That could work. When I posted this, Trent Williams on Twitter said, I would have the UK team be Dunn, Bate, Seven, Birch, and then so Danny Birch, and a one-night return of either William Regal or Fit Finley.
There you go.
And then he said Team US, Styles, Gable and Benjamin, Jordan, and Ono.
I mean, that could be interesting. My guess is they're going to do Team Kevin versus Team Shane, though.
Oh, they usually have multiple matches.
For SmackDown, it'll be that, and then Raw, you get almost, who knows? Team Roman versus Team Strowman, Team Miz versus Team Roman.
Team Shield versus Team Club.
Yeah, exactly.
I
I would like it if they did a Raw versus SmackDown again. I really like that.
even if it was just a singles match, wouldn't that be good? Styles and Dunn, and you could do US versus UK.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it would be a cool little dynamic.
I think it would be too. That's a good idea.
Big Love says Eric Young versus Adam Cole tonight. Oh yes. Should I just reply right away?
Good stuff.
Cole wins. Just spoil the whole thing. Cole wins, escapes, nothing to see. Go to bed. That'd be rude. Because we went to the tapings.
I'm trying to figure out a couple more people from the U.S. that I would want on this team.
Yeah, let's
Can it
hear
be for me
your
to
lineups.
show?
Let's hear your
Can it be
lineups.
for me to can it be for me to show? I still have finished my U.S. team, but my UK team is Bate, Seven, Dunn, bringing back Connors and Birch.
Ooh, forget about it. Okay. I definitely like the Danny Birch throw-in. I think that would be great. And I like the idea of Ono too, because I'll take Cassius Ono versus Danny Birch any day of the week. Let them beat the crap out of each other on a pay-per-view. People that have never seen them before, those are the types of people you need. You need high flyers. If you're going to debut at a pay-per-view, you need a high flyer. You need someone that's going to come out and hit hard. You know, if Lars was on Team US,
Oh my God.
that guy's too good. Do you see he got added to the video game?
Yeah, that's over Andrade.
Yeah. So, Bucks fan, I said, oh, never mind. I already read that one. Damn, there was something else I wanted to talk about. What's something else SmackDown for the past 3 weeks, guys, has been completely taped off the entire camera side.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even filling the arenas anymore. That's got to be cause for concern, right, Garrett?
What is it again? I'm sorry.
SmackDown can't even fill crowds. They've been taping off They've been taping off the whole third of the crowd where the camera is.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's not a good sign.
You want my honest opinion?
Yeah.
They go to the same places too many times.
Yeah.
They've come to Orlando one time in 2 years. Think about it. We went to the last 2 Orlando shows.
You can't say they go to the same places too many times and then complain that they've only gone to Orlando once. That means they're going to other places other than Orlando.
I know, but they could at least come to Orlando twice.
Yeah,
But
but, but you understand. That means that they'd be going back to a place, which you're saying.
My honest thing, I would send it overseas more, honestly, if they could afford it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Those crowds are always huge every
They
time.
apparently can't afford pyro, so why would they afford overseas?
I mean, it'd fill out their show, so I mean, they'd be selling more. I don't know.
And you got to think, you know how hard that must be to cut a promo looking at nobody? From the entertainer's perspective, you're staring at nobody. You're staring at empty seats with a black tarp over it.
I'm just throwing out empty ideas. I mean,
It's going to be weird.
realistically, I don't know how they could fix it, but just some ideas. You could hit some of your bigger crowds more often than – I mean, they go to Little Rock more than they do Orlando.
Uh-oh, one of my friends on Twitter, Big Love, the Lars match must be starting, Charlie, that we saw. said, should be a physical, hard-hitting match. Lars eats punches as a snack on break from activities.
Yes, true.
He is going to enjoy that match.
I don't know. I really think. I mean, they were just in Japan. Why not do a Raw over there?
All right, I got my Team USA if you want.
You know.
Let's hear it.
So I got Styles, I got Benjamin and Gable. No differentiation there, but I got Rollins, and then I have John Cena if he can still wrestle, assuming he can, which I assume he can. You know.
Yeah, hell of a team.
With John Cena burying Dunn and winning at the end.
Right. No, and that's versus Bates, Seven, Dunn, Connors, and Burch. So that's you're talking about like a really killer match right there.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh, and then the last thing I want to talk about. We have a lot of guys coming over from the Indies. It's a really cool time in wrestling right now. People don't need to be in the WWE to be seen as big. The Young Bucks are the most popular tag team in the world by a landslide right now, WWE or not. And the Elite, well, the Bullet Club, the New Japan Bullet Club, Ring of Honor Bullet Club-ish, showed up to Raw as a direct ripoff from DX. I mean, that's been their whole shtick. First of all, anyone complaining that, oh, they're just doing what DX did, that's the point. They did the suck it until they got the cease and desist from Vince McMahon. They do the too sweet. They do all of the things that DX used to do back in the day. They're directly ripping off of it because that's their gimmick. And now they're showing up to Raw, as in Cody Rhodes, Young Bucks, Adam Page,
and Marty
Scurll showed up. So, what do you think of it, Charlie?
Thought it was awesome. Imagine, just think out loud, if they would have all bought front row seats to the show. Holy shit! Imagine.
Would they show them on TV or not? Would they throw it to
front
them?
row? They'd have to.
Well, what was interesting, I mean, different reports have come out. Some people said that Vince McMahon was pissed off. Some people said that Vince McMahon didn't care. But he was aware of it. And if you listen to some of the interviews, like for instance, Eric Bischoff, when he was running WCW at the time when DX came over, he said, looking back on it, the best move for me would have been to let him in. What if they would have let him in during Raw?
I think it would have been huge.
What if they would have just said, you know what?
Had so many people tuning in that only care about indie wrestling.
Oh my God!
Tuned into that.
Just all of a
Here's the
sudden.
question, though: how much do they justifiably pay the guys for showing up?
Oh, they don't pay them. They say, "Come on in, we're not paying you," and they say, "Sure."
They get to support their brand.
They do it for free. They'd come out and they'd start talking about how much Ring of Honor kicks ass and New Japan's better, and that's what they'd say. And then they'd come out and probably the locker room leaders, probably Roman and Cena and Strowman and probably Bray, they'd probably all come out and fight them.
And that'd be like a good,
Man,
what
wish
would
they
that be?
brought a
8-man
front row.
tag match? Would that be an 8-man tag match? Yeah, that'd be a good 8-man tag match. But who out of that group of people from
There's
Japan?
your Survivor Series match right there. Cody, the Young Bucks, that's 3. Scurll and Adam Page is your 5. And then on the other side, you got Roman, Cena, Matt Hardy. Who are some of the other guys that
Strowman.
pull it down in the back? Strowman and Goldust.
There you go. Yep.
There you go. Yep, that's like the league guys. Yeah.
Go ahead, fight it out. A shoot fight on Survivor Series. And they should just make it a table match. That way they could actually end it shoot style. If they just said, "Hey, you guys are gonna go have an actual tables match," go ahead. See
And you just see the Young Bucks hold Roman down on the table as Marty ascends to the top.
That'd be so good. All right. Anyway, good talking. This is our first podcast that's gone over an hour in quite a bit. But there is no Big Brother anymore. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing.
We definitely got open range with this now. We can
Exactly.
put more time into this.
Exactly. Like that's what I was thinking today. I was like, you know what? It's good. We took some extra time talking about a segment. I'm like, fine with this. So hopefully you guys don't mind us going a little later. by all means, if you have some wrestling friends, some other colleagues, friends, teachers, parents, whatever that enjoy wrestling, and you know, it's funny, little inside scoop. I had a parent-teacher conference Monday morning at 8:30, and this mom came in and said that the kid has been complaining, like the kid won't stop. He's like emotional at home, and he doesn't want to do any of his work, and the only way that she can get him to do his work and like enjoy doing any of his work is if she'll let him watch wrestling on Monday and Tuesday nights.
There you go.
I have that kid first period. So first period comes along, and I throw in a wrestling reference, and his eyes like lit up. So I talked to him after class, and I kind of talked to him and said, hey, you know, you should be doing your work. That way you can watch your wrestling, right? Maybe your grandmother will let you watch some more wrestling. And he's like, yeah, you're right. So hopefully.
Hey, man.
Turning wrestling into a positive, man.
Too sweet.
Too sweet. All right, so I'm going to go play some Madden solo challenges and
Ooh, sounds like fun.
hopefully get some sleep tonight as well. Charlie, hop on Xbox, man.
Hey, that might be the move. I might have to watch some NXT here and go from there.
You already saw it live. What do you need to watch it for?
True. I enjoy watching them. You know how it is.
Hell. You're looking for yourself in the crowd, aren't you?
Yeah, that's what he does, you conceited douche.
Hey!
Make sure you like and subscribe and click that little bell so you know when we go live. Ding! And we'll see.
We are interrupting this outro to bring you a public service announcement.